Alright, so here's a quick lesson on ratios, and all a ratio really is a comparison between, well, usually two items, or two or more, and the classic example is, they always say A to B. And that can be expressed as a fraction, or it can be expressed verbally as the words A to B, and there is one caveat, and that caveat is that B, the second number, can't be equal to 0, because, once again, if you compare it as a fraction, it's A over 0, and that's undefined. Anyway, there's really a couple of things that you need to know with ratios, and I'm going to use an example to illustrate this. Let's say you have there's the first number, which is, in our example, boys, and the second number, which is girls, and then there's always a total. And so I'm going to say, let's say the ratio of boys to girls in a class is 2 to 3. That means for every 2 boys, there's 3 girls. And here's the other thing about ratios. They're normally written in simplest form. So I could rewrite this as, for every 2 boys, there's 3 girls, if I wanted. And let's say, in this example, I know that there are, let's say, 30 students, alright? So I don't know how many are boys at this point in time. I don't know how many are girls, but we can use this information. For every 2 boys, there's 3 girls to find out. So there's actually 2 ways of doing this. So I'm going to show you both methods. I'm going to show you method 1 as my fractional method. I'm going to show you this method because most people actually don't like it. And here's how it works. I take 2 and I take 3 and I add them up and I get 5. So for the boys, I know that it's 2 boys out of the 5 total, and I multiply that times my total. And what happens here is you end up with 60 over 5, which equals 12 boys. Now if I take the girls, I'm going to write down boys here, or I'll just put down B. There's 3 girls out of the total, which was 5, times 30. And that gives me 90 over 5, which equals 18 girls. And that means there's 12 boys and 18 girls. 12 and 18 equals 30. Well, that method is actually very, very useful, mostly for pie charts, and I'll explain later. But method 2 is a simpler method, which most people like. What you do is you take the 2 and the 3, and you say, you just put x's behind them, and you add them up. You say 2x plus 3x equals 30. 2x plus 3x equals 5x. So 5x equals 30. I divide by 5. I get x equals 6. Well, recall that the boys was 2x, which becomes 2 times 6, which is 12. The girls was 3x, which is 3 times 6, which is 18. Alright, so I'm going to pause there for a second. And the reason why I said that this is, I like method 1 using the fraction is because it has a very, 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 very useful application. And the application here is with circles. There's 360 degrees in a circle. So let's say you're doing a pie chart, and let's say you had 36 students, and they were in the ratio of, let's say, 2 to 3 to 7. Now, if we want to find, and let's say this was the way they get to school, and this would be walk, and this would be drive, and this would be hitchhike, alright? So, if I want to find out the angle sectors, I know that a circle has 360 degrees, and so I'm going to say 2 plus 3 plus 7 is 12, so I'm going to say 2 out of 12 times 360 equals, and I know that 12 is in 36 3 times, so that's 30, so that's going to be 60 degrees. This is degrees. And then I would say 3 out of 12 times 360. Notice I'm using 360 as the total, and you might say, well, there's 36 students. Well, that's just something that people use for actual pie charts. So this is going to be 30, this is going to be 90 degrees. And then 7 out of 12 times 360. And that's going to be 210 degrees. And so my pie chart would look like this. It's 6 students. I'd have a circle, which is going to come out looking pretty awful, but let's see what I can do. Oh, that's not too bad. I have a 60-degree angle. That's probably more like 60. I have a 90-degree angle, which I'm just going to do just like this. That's my 90-degree angle. And then my last one would be 210 degrees, which is actually fairly accurate. And if I want, I could do a little chart here. I could make this green into my hitchhikers, and I could make my, let's see, I could make my drivers red. That would be, and now I'm just kind of fooling around. But I think you get the idea. At least I hope you get the idea. Like I said, the fractional one I feel is very useful as far as things like pie charts. But if we did that 2x plus 3x plus 7x equals 360, you would still get the same answer. 12x equals 360. Divide by 12, divide both sides by 12, and you get x equals 30, and then this would be 2 times 30, which is 60. This would be 3 times 30, which is 90, and that'd be 7 times 30, which is 210. Anyway, I hope you like that. I thought that's a nifty little way to do this.